go pay $475 at the courthouse. Fuck that shit. Be like, peace out, bro. I'm done. We don't even have fuck this. I'm keeping the ring though.
Oh wow. Oh man.
Yes, Carl. I be talking about your friend. Hey, Carl. Miss
How do
your
we
face.
feel about this chat? Is marriage considered
marriage? Don't do it.
entrapment?
Please. It's entrapment
Or-
for real. And don't get a 401k or nothing and then get married. You're really fucked.
I'm good. I can have that.
Yeah, fuck the marriage.
I'm good on that.
I'd rather kill myself.
You know what I mean? All right, well.
Anybody got anything to say?
Star?
Yes.
You all done?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
We,
Shit. Who's drinking me or her? Shit.
what was the question?
No, we already answered it.
Wait,
I didn't ask no question.
We
It wasn't my
didn't.
question. So
the most recent question or the one that I asked?
Nobody knows. We're just gonna go.
Because
to
I
the
asked,
next.
is it more important to be told that you love or for someone to explain that?
I love you, or is it better to explain it?
there you go. That's the question right there.
I think that's just a given, though. Explain it. Why do you love me? Oh, you have nothing to say because you
What do
don't.
you mean? Like sometimes.
My sister finna say something.
Oh,
Oh.
all right. Go ahead.
Who we got in there?
Okay, sister.
We need a name real quick. Who we got in the building? All right, we got chat. We got Leah in the building.
Leah.
Hey, girl.
What's going on,
On
Leah?
the Smoke and Talk podcast IG page live right now. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Leah. The mic is all yours, girl.
I would definitely say it's better to be shown because you can say a lot and not mean anything, you feel me? So I would definitely say it would be better to be shown because, like they always say, actions speak louder than words.
Yep, preach.
So,
Okay. Okay.
That's definitely a valid answer.
I mean, all right. So I need to throw this out there because a lot of women be saying actions mean a lot,
Actions
right?
speak- Yeah.
But here's my thing. I know a lot of dudes that do a lot of things, and yet they don't say those words, I love you. And their woman's already thinking automatically, he's cheating. So for me is, if I'm going out my way, doing things for you, and I tell you I love you, I mean, what I you know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
feel you. Like
for me,
sometimes the
there's
actions.
a lot of men that are not very emotional expressed like that.
Yeah. Sometimes the actions do fall on deaf ears, or
So
they don't get acknowledged.
That part. There you go.
And then where you go from there?
It's like, why do I do this if you're not even going to acknowledge it just because I didn't say it also?
But
no.
I feel like that also falls under the terms of like, you got to learn how that person needs to be loved.
Yeah, you got to meet in the middle.
But then women got to be willing to open their mouths and fucking tell us like what it is that you require. That's the thing. Like my thing is like there's lack of communication in relationships will cause a divide.
Yep.
And if you can't explain like, yo, I need this, and this without feeling scared about it or like, you know, not being like passive aggressive when you tell somebody what it is that you require, then you can't then be mad when that person doesn't meet those standards.
So,
Yeah.
right, but 9 out of 10 times in relationship, when you tell a woman what she's doing wrong, they feel it being attacked.
No, I think it's all in how you approach. It's all in how you say it. Exactly. Yes.
But the problem is, we're talking about men here and their deliveries.
And you can't do it when you're
can't tell a
mad.
man to be a bitch and be like, so honey, I feel like you don't do this enough. Like,
Why
nah.
not? That should be like a discussion.
If a nigga tells you straight the fuck up, like, yo, you doing this shit wrong. I need you to tighten up. You shouldn't be mad.
It depends on how you take it. Like, I feel like if my man came up to me and said that, I would take it like, okay, I hear you. But if you were like, you fucking up, bitch, like that'd be a whole different story. But I feel like you should communicate, like communication, like you said, communication is key. If I come to you and I'm like, hey, I'm not happy you not doing this, and this. Like, I need you to tighten up, and you don't do it, then
All right, but
it's not there. It's not like it's.
I mean, you should also implement these.
Then that's not your person.
You should also voice and implement these concerns, like from the beginning, like when they first pop up, so that way it doesn't become a learned behavior in the relationship that's acceptable, and then like over the course of time, you let it just build resentment in you towards this person, and then you just blow the fuck up out of nowhere, because then they're gonna be like, well, shit, this shit was okay for X,
in the
Y,
beginning.
Z
You never said
time,
nothing before,
and now it's a problem.
Yeah.
You feel me?
So what if it never came up before till now?
No, you should. As soon as you start talking to somebody, you should be like, these are my expectations. Can you meet them? This interview.
Or just be like, yo,
That sound like a
That's
job
what I'm doing.
interview. What the fuck?
Or
That's
just
what
be
I'm
like,
doing. Can you
when-
meet my
so-
expectations?
when something
Then
when
bye if
something
you
problematic arises itself in that particular moment, then you address it. You don't let it just sit and fester and grow over time. You just address it right then and there. Like, you got to be confident in being like, yo, if you're gonna be my person, we got to have a conversation about this, because this is one thing that I don't appreciate, or I don't
It makes me
enjoy
uncomfortable.
about
Yeah.
our relationship right now. You feel me? And my thing is that if that person is willing to work with you, then they're willing to work. And like, that's what I'm saying. The shit that's left unsaid that can be detrimental to your relationship over the course of time is usually the little things that we have a tendency to just like let go and look past.
So all right, so prime example, like DDG and his baby mother, how they started, had a whole baby, they split. Now he's with India Love, but throughout that whole process of them splitting, she held the kid from him.
You don't do that.
You got those type of women that use the kids as a pawn
You don't do
just to get back at the guy. So,
I mean, unfortunately, you know, like
don't do that.
when you have kids, when you have kids in situations where like your relationship is not like established on a solid foundation, it can get messy. It can. I mean,
but nothing's a kid's fault. I think that a lot of people need to realize that, like, at the end of the day, like, that child wants those memories of like them growing up with their mom or their dad or both of them and having like a healthy relationship. Like, if you have any respect for your kid, then you put all your feelings aside when it comes to exchanging your kid, spending time with that kid, letting the other parent get them. Unless it's a dangerous situation, you don't keep your kids from the dad or the mom.
I mean, like, you definitely don't need to be with the person that you conceived a child with.
Yeah, happens
I mean,
every day.
sometimes it's better off that you separate yourself from somebody because you don't want to expose your child to a certain level of toxicity.
Yep.
For me, sometimes you have to cut that tie and make that separation. Although you're still entangled with that person for the rest of your life because you had a kid with them, like, you want to give your children the best opportunity to grow in the best environment that they possibly can. So it's like,
it should be about the kid no matter what at the end of the day.
And you know, that just comes with a maturity aspect. You know, you have to be mature enough to understand, like, although we didn't work out,
and I don't want to see you, I'm still going to give you your kid.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Because it's never the kid's fault.
Never.
They didn't ask to be here.
Nope.
But when you was laying down doing your dirty, you didn't take the time to have the foresight to consider, hey, I might be getting pregnant right now, or I might be getting this girl pregnant right now. What does that mean for the next
18 years,
30 plus
100
years of my life?
So you're dead.
True. All right. So now we're gonna go over to the money side now.
Yeah.
Money side.
Fucking money.
Money
Talks, bullshit walks. My dad used to say that. R.I.P. Dad.
All right, so mine's technically like a 2-part question. I'm gonna start off with the first one.
2 parts.
You know?
Oh Lord, I'd be like, if I can get through one.
Got somebody trying to come in?
Nah, they just hopped in. I switched over.
All right.
So, what do you believe is the right amount of money to live here in the state of Florida?
Comfortably, you got to make $5,000 every 2 weeks. That's just bare minimum comfortable, like bills paid, food in the fridge, decent car, health insurance, all the absolute necessities, and maybe getting to shop at Hobby Lobby during Halloween.
Well, with health insurance
That's it.
being cut now, well, Florida's not a state for it to be cut by the majority of that, the way some states is being cut right now with the new bill that they just signed. We not on there, but states like New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, you know, there's a lot of states that's gonna get hit hard for losing their Medicaid and Medicare. But what do you think is the right amount of money? Like you already said it. What was it?
$5,000 every 2
$5,000
weeks. So
every 2
10 grand a
weeks,
month, you could live bare minimum comfortable. And like comfortable means having what you need
All right.
and a little bit extra, not too much.
Hold on, give me a second.
But they keep raising everything.
That's why I go back to my question earlier about how can you save when bread, milk,
It's $2,
gas.
$3, $10.
No, not even. The milk is going almost 5 something.
It's crazy.
The bread is already at 6 with tax included. So
if it says bring them on video, are you trying to come on video?
yeah,
Okay. Oh,
you know what I mean.
no, it's
Yeah.
asking to join.
All right.
Do you want to come on, Autumn?
I just want to read this.
Okay, read it.
And this is, I just Googled it. This is
Fucking Google.
This is based off of a segment from a study from Fox 35 Orlando News, right?
Oh, Orlando, home of Disney.
They say a comfortable salary in Florida varies, but generally a single adult should aim for at least $93,000 plus annually to live comfortably, while a family of 4 might need around 217.
Yes. Yep.
That's 90.
Say that one more time. I need
But the jobs
I
are
need you
paying
to say that
14.
one more time so the chat could definitely hear
It
that.
says in the state of Florida, a single adult should aim for at least $93K annual salary,
$93,000,
and a
for
family of
single
4.
person
A family of 4
to
should
live
aim.
comfortably in Florida.
Yeah.
Do you hear this, chat?
But we're home of the theme parks and
But
beaches.
yeah. The minimum wage in South Florida is what? $15?
$15.
$15.
Yeah.
And that annually is what?
Like
Not even 20.
45, 50, 50
Nah,
something like that.
Nah, definitely not. We about to find out right now.
Yeah, because 18 an hour is right around 40-ish, I believe.
So 20 times that by 4, that's 28. Yeah, 49. Yeah, just about. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay. But still, 90 what? You're still off by
93,000.
40,000. You're putting yourself in debt.
Yeah, and that's just a single income. Like there's like
They're saying 2 incomes, you need to make
you
$275,000.
can work a job. Say for instance, because we have a lot of telemarketers here in Florida.
We do.
Companies.
And a lot of
So it's like,
scammers.
Shout out to the
A lot of
telemarketers.
scammers.
yeah. So a lot of the telecommunication companies out here in Florida, they offer anywhere between a $15 to $18 going rate salary, right? So $18, let's say high end. $18, 40 hours a week with overtime, you're still looking at least $55K. And that's you working 40 plus hours a week.
Yep.
40 plus hours a week, you only getting a little bit above 55 if you are there day in, day out, plus on the weekends, just to make sure that you can actually like get groceries after you pay your bills.
Yeah.
You know?
Facts.
At least groceries.
And that's on average. That's working a job that requires you to have a high school diploma, that requires you to sometimes.
I mean, shit, high school diploma now can't even get you anything.
Well,
I
get
mean,
your
I
shit.
know people that have degrees.
I have an
Yeah.
associate.
They
They don't
have
get you nowhere.
degrees, and they can't even get a good job that's for their actual major that they took.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
right.
like, what's the point of me going to college and put
It's
myself
not.
in
That
debt
shit's a trap.
for me not having a job? And then when you go to that job for a degree that you went to school to learn for, they hit you with, oh, we need at least minimum 2 years experience.
We can't get experience.
Like,
if they don't hire you.
how you expect me to get experience if I went to school 4 years to get a degree for this fucking job?
And honestly, that's why I don't personally like. I don't have any bad blood or qualms in regards to like some of these people or women or men or whatever you want to call it that are out here with their side hustle. You feel me? Like, shout out to my people who fucking indulge in doing like OnlyFans and shit. Like,
legit way of doing side hustle.
No, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean? Like, you got these people out here in these streets that really put in their heart, sweat, and tears into this fucking business for it to jump up the right way just to get sidewinded by some technical shit.
Yeah, I feel it.
You know what I mean?
I feel it. Like I was saying, shout out to my people who do like OnlyFans and shit like that.
Yay, we love
hustle.
them.
That is a hustle. Like however you gotta get your money.
Welcome to the show.
However you gotta get your money and live comfortably, and it doesn't go against any of your personal morals or standings. Like, all right. Do what you need to do, because at the end of the day, nobody's gonna buy a 5-piece and a biscuit for you.
Nope, you gotta get it yourself.
All right, so that was the first part of my question. The second part is, with now knowing that you need over $90,000 to live comfortably here in Florida as a single person, that's not even with kids. People now, and this is just like, I know a lot of people now that's making this move, but people now are moving more to like Tennessee. Like, this is where it's at now. This is why I keep hearing Tennessee is where the fuck
because there's property out there. It's beautiful.
Right now,
it's cheap.
I know about 3 people that live in Tennessee that have a house, 3-bedroom, 2 fucking baths, with a garage and a whole fucking beautiful backyard, and only paying $1,300.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's
$90,000 for the whole thing.
Last year, I think it was.
Like, you can live minimum wage and pay your bills out there. You can't do that here.
No, yeah, absolutely. Like, I think it was early last year. I was listening to the radio. I was driving, and I heard that they did a census or whatever, and with that comes economic, standings and whatnot. So they basically said that Florida is the most expensive state to live in the U.S. right now.
Yeah. In terms
of minimum wage to living ratio, it's the most expensive state to live in. So it's just like, and we don't have enough jobs out here, or we don't have enough quality jobs.
Quality jobs. That's the key.
Yeah. We don't have enough quality jobs out here to sustain the amount of the influx of people that are coming in. So it's just like, all they're gonna do is keep marketing up, yep. And then it's gonna become impossible for people to live here. Like, look at it, the last 3 years, how many like housing developments have you seen go up just between Port St. Lucie and Stuart, Florida?
In the last 3 years,
I've seen about 10.
A lot.
Yeah. And the housing went up insane. The guy I bought my house from 3 years before I bought my house, he bought this house for $100,000. I paid $267,000. Triple what the man paid 3 years ago for it.
Because there's more people.
There's more people. There's more everything around here.
If you look at it, everybody's migrating up. Nobody's moving south. So it's like you got all the people who are making those higher wage earnings down in like Boca, Palm Beach, Broward County, and all that shit. You got all them who have that access to that money and that funds migrating up towards this way, pushing out the people who can't afford to make those payments and whatnot.
Yep.
So it's just like, they're gonna keep on getting it where they're getting it's good, because like you're like, oh well, people can't afford this over here now. It's like, no, people can't afford it over here. You got people who could afford it down there who can't afford the influx that's happening down there. So now they're migrating up this way. So you're creating a different wage bracket here.
Yeah, no, that's real shit.
You ain't lying. All right. So, would you stay here?
Fuck no.
Or go to Tennessee?
Here, I'm never leaving Florida unless all my friends move with me. Honestly, all go together.
honestly and truthfully, like
CPs.
Yes.
Would you
Would
stay in
y'all
Florida or
stay in
leave?
Florida or go
I'm
to
going
Tennessee?
somewhere else. Oh, not Tennessee. I'll stay in Florida.
Tennessee's right now housing is cheap.
I'll stay in Florida.
You're staying in Florida.
I'm not going.
Yeah,
no
Florida
Tennessee
life.
So
with
you
that.
all right with for paying over $2,000 for a 2-bedroom?
Well, honestly, I would
Yes.
more than a 2-bedroom, and we would be roommates anyway.
y'all thinking short term. What happens?
They're
when-
just
what
thinking
happens
like
when-
teenagers, like we did.
I know it. I know it. What
Alright,
happens when
so-
life starts life?
Nah.
Ugh,
My
you're
last,
sad.
my last and final
Well,
question.
Well, it don't matter. If it's a 2-bedroom and you're in a relationship, right? Wouldn't that person just be in your bedroom? Is what I'm saying. So then there would be more people pitching into the rent. So if we're both in relationships, right?
What if you had a woman that didn't have a
We're
job?
partners. Well, then why would they be in our house if they don't got a job? What the hell? Why would they be in a relationship?
What happens when you have a kid?
Because a woman sometimes don't want to work.
We
They
won't- we don't want
Jesus.
kids.
they rather be taken
Oh
care
my
of.
God, these
Someone
girls are
wanted to
so
take care of
fucking
it.
lost in life.
You know, you don't have kids.
So,
All right.
my last and final
CP
question
said she
with-
never have a
with
kid.
money. Y'all ready?
Never,
Okay.
never,
John.
never.
If you had $1 million right now, what's your first move?
Invest.
I want to hear that. I said John too, by the way.
I just had to
What's
blurt
my
it
first
out.
move?
Yeah, I don't want to hear invest because everybody say invest. Obviously, we know that's
My
gonna be your
first
way.
move.
But what's your first? If $1 million hit the table, say here, that's John with your name on it. What you doing first?
I'd pay off all my debt. Pay off my debts.
Okay.
And then that way I could have financial freedom at that point. You feel me? I won't owe anybody nothing. I would have the ability to be able to monetize that money however I see fit past that point. And then you would invest. You feel me? Because my thing is like you can invest, and if you got a shit ton of debt, IRS coming after you, they gonna snatch that shit right from up
That's
under
true.
you.
That's
Immediately.
So you can settle your debts first. Settle your debts first, and then you play with the money after that. You feel me? But you most definitely need to invest in something. I buy at 2 or 3 houses.
At least.
2 or 3 houses.
All right, but
Airbnb.
in this market right now, to buy 2 or 3 houses,
I wouldn't buy them
spending-
here.
Yep.
I ain't buying them in Florida. I buy destination houses. So I buy a house somewhere in Atlanta where the market's better.
Okay.
Set that up as an Airbnb. That's residual money coming in. The next one I'm going for, I'll do something in Louisiana, close to New Orleans. You feel what I mean?
Airbnb
the way
that.
them hurricanes hitting over there.
Hey, but listen, at the end of the day, that's what renter or housing insurance is for. You feel me? They can the hurricane come blow that damn house down. I'll pay that money for that housing insurance, so that way I build
Get a brand new house.
Okay.
and they cut me a check for it. And then I'll probably put my last destination in Texas somewhere. I know Texas is getting fucked up right now. Shout out to Texas.
And the floods, yes.
Oh,
that
wait,
shit's sad.
and
We
shout
support
Shout out to
you.
Texas.
South Carolina, North Carolina.
Condolences to all the people who have lost their lives in Texas
All
and
those
families that are
campers.
dealing with that. You know, wish y'all the best. You know,
So sad.
sunshine shines another day. But definitely I put something in Texas because,
I can't do that. You have to do that. I cannot change your name. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the chat.
Texas would be the last place that I would put something until I can buy more property. You know, my thing is like property is one of the most obtainable assets that you can possess, and it's one of the most valuable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's power in owning property. I buy a couple acres or some shit like that and run cattle off of it. Let that make money for me too. You feel me?
Yes. Passive income is everything.
Yeah, fuck that buying Maseratis and all that shit.
Yeah,
I don't
fuck
want
that.
none of that shit. I'll drive a Honda Civic if I have to. You feel me? I will.
I want a mom van, like a
But guess
badass
what?
blacked out one.
I got now 3+ streams of revenue to where like I'm quadrupling the money that I just spent investing in these investments.
Yep.
And that's a yearly thing.
But you also have to do your research on how much people go out to these places. Well, depending on where you decide to buy a house at or
Absolutely.
Airbnb it, because you know,
But you got to look at a demo. You plant houses. You plant
like
property.
if you plant the house, because if you go to Texas, out of all the places to go in Texas, where you going?
You got options. You got San Antonio. You got Dallas. You got Austin. You got Houston.
But out of all of them,
The most touristy destination, the most touristy
Dallas.
one.
You put it next to
everybody's going to Dallas.
But you could put it next to any one of those major cities. You could put it
Yeah.
next to any one of those major cities.
Yeah.
As long as it's
Perfect.
making money, it's gonna make money.
So
You don't put it out in the
mean?
fucking sticks. You don't put it out in the sticks. I mean, you thought I was drinking.
Nah.
But you plant it next.
At the end of the day, my point was to say was like you have to do your research on
Oh,
where
yeah,
you
absolutely.
put the Airbnb at.
You gotta know
Some
what your
people-
target
Some people be
demographic
like,
is
I'm
gonna
gonna put
be.
an Airbnb here, and then it flop.
But you can do
and
it.
they
But that's the
stuck.
thing.
Then you could
do
rent it out.
You could definitely do an Airbnb here because at one point Stewart was considered the number one travel destination
It was popping
in
back
the
day.
country. In the country, we talking about Little Stewart, Florida, number one
'Cause
travel
it is
destination
so
in the
cute
country.
there.
And that's my thing. Like everything's all about trends. You feel me? What's trendy?
You know,
What's
Omar.
trending? Yep. Yeah. Now
He said, "John."
Oh,
Omar, we love
you. I saw him the other day.
Shout out
Look
to
at what
the
you
chat.
owe.
Love Omar.
Yeah, man, but you gotta see what your target demographic is going to be. You got to be able to capitalize on that because it's like you do anything without any direction, you ain't gonna get nowhere.
Amen to that.
So
Amen to that.
I got 4 more. Actually,
Okay,
3
go
more.
for it.
3 more.
Run it.
I mean, I don't know what else they have. So
We have nothing. I have nothing. I'm lucky I'm answering these questions.
yes,
But anyway,
I used all my questions last
so
week.
now, wait. So, well, obviously you said invest. You're
No,
not
I would
honest.
pay my house off and I would like pay my light bill for the next 20 years so I never have to worry about it, and my water bill. And I would just fucking build the shit out of my house. I would add extra 2 stories, pool. This is where my kids are going to grow up forever. This is going to be their house they remember, and it's going to be the most badass house
For everybody
ever.
that just jumped in chat, the question was: if you had $1 million right now, if it just sat, right
And
in
I would
front
pay
of
my
you
mom's all
right
my mom's
now,
debt.
what would you
and take
want
care of
to
her.
do with it? What's your first move that you'll do with it? All right. If you have an answer and you want to jump on the live, or just throw it on the comments and I'll put it out there for you.
Yep, same here.
Let me know. All right. So my money questions is done with.
Okay.
All right.
Go
about-
for
we
the
about-
tsunami questions.
We about to go to the relationship questions.
There we go.
All right.
Here we go.
I'm gonna finish this off, right? What's your take on relationship now versus back then? Because you know that back then, the women back then, they dealt with shit to keep the household.
Happy.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Fuck
So
that.
back then, most household, I can't say it was a high rate. At least not in New York City for me. Because damn near almost me and all my friends got separated kid parents. But still, back then, the success rate of whole families was higher than what it is now.
Because women dealt with the men being the men. And now everybody's all about like girl power, woman power. Like, yes, I'm all about that. But they weren't like that back then. They couldn't speak up. They were scared.
Well,
Like,
I
if
feel
you
like-
went home and your husband beat you, you better take that shit and sit down and continue your life.
I feel like
And that's a lot of
changed,
mentality. Yeah, now it's different. Like, you put your hands on a girl now, she's calling the police. You're going to fucking jail.
though. I feel like there was a lot of developments with like women entering the workforce and in a higher capacity.
Voting.
You know, them getting more opportunities to actually like
Mhm.
hold their own. That changed a lot. Also, technology fucked us in a great deal because like now we're built on our society built on instant gratification. You feel me?
Yep.
Like everything is expendable and
I need to be
replaceable.
verified. I need to be,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I need to,
Everything's like everybody's expendable and everything is replaceable nowadays. And sometimes it's just a click of a button,
Yeah.
and it's just like that plays a
you
big
can
part
go
into it.
from high peak person to a nobody real quick.
Because you gotta think about it. 50 years ago, motherfuckers didn't have Facebook, they didn't have Tinder, they didn't have none of that shit, dog. They just had they had their block, their neighborhood.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And that's all you
And
know.
that's all the people. That's the people that they knew, in that
That's your
one little
circle.
town. You feel me? Now we have access to people
In Africa.
across the country,
Yeah.
across the world.
98 Fiance all the way.
Yeah, I
halfway
love
around the
90 Day
world.
Fiance. I never want to get married, but I want to go on that show.
I don't want to marry nobody that I've known for 90 fucking days.
Me neither. I just want to go until the
I don't even
89th
know what
day
your
and then
farts
be
smell
like, you know
at that
what?
point.
This isn't for
Like,
me.
what the fuck? Yo, you could be a dirty booty ass bitch, and I would not know until day 91. Like crazy, get out of here.
We're not doing that.
You don't even know.
I just want to stay
know.
until the
It was a
89th
whole
day.
front. You feel me?
I wouldn't know.
All right.
Okay, next question.
For me, I didn't even answer.
Yeah,
Oh, I feel like he's the question guy.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, I feel like I am the question guy. I've been asking all the questions.
You
So
were
no, no, no,
unprepared.
no,
I'm
no,
just
no,
winging
no,
This
so-
is
it.
how you come prepared.
Now,
for
so
a fucking
we've
podcast.
been asking all
No,
the
you just
questions.
wing it.
Nah, you don't wing it. You come prepared.
I just come in with the haymakers. You feel me? I hit them with the
Yeah.
heavy hitters.
You did.
Man. For me, I like the old school. You know what I mean? Even though I had it only for a few years, but those few years I cherish, even though I have a lot of darkness in them years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well.
I got a lot of darkness in them years, but them good, happy times where all of us was together, that's the shit. It's like, damn.
I
Mhm.
feel that.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like we are creatures of habit, you know, and familiarity is definitely something
Familiarity
that
is
plays a part.
everything.
Yeah.
But with
That's why people stay in relationships for so
I
long.
was just gonna say that. Yes, when
That's
you're
why motherfuckers
comfortable
go
and
back to
familiar.
exes because
Yep.
there's a comfort. You feel me? Like,
Yep.
Like, who wants to start over?
it's the same
Nobody.
thing
To
that-
ask you what's your favorite color? You know what I'm saying? Oh,
I want to get to know you.
You know what I'm saying?
For
All
what?
this
So we
shit,
can end
like,
it?
you know what I mean?
Mine is
Like,
indigo, by the way. No facts.
Okay, indigo, his favorite
Indigo.
color, but he is
all right,
taken.
It's like this
there
right
you
here.
go, ladies. Y'all heard it.
No, he's taken, right?
I am in a
He is
relationship with a
taken.
very, very beautiful, very humble. And
I hope
and
she's
just, like-
watching.
Oh,
That's so
shit.
sweet. You should have brought her.
Yeah.
My boy John. All right,
Yeah.
all right. My next question: if you had to pick a woman, right, in today's world and one from back in the day, and I'm going to use an example here. Would you want to marry? Now, I know you say you don't want to marry like that. Now, I already know it. But let's say, would you want to marry a woman like Cardi B or Princess Diana?
Princess Diana. She's a real bitch.
Mm. Hold on now. Hold on.
She might be a freak
Hold on
just
now,
like
hold on
Cardi
now.
when she's not out.
Michael Jackson made a whole song called Dirty Diana.
But that wasn't about her though. That wasn't about Princess Diana. That was
I
about
know.
Diana Ross.
I get it.
Diana Ross
Damn,
tried
you
the shit out of
immediately
him
went
at
to the
the awards.
princess.
I get it.
And he didn't like it.
Yeah. But it was
A
also
lot of people don't
but it
know
was-
about that story now with Michael Jackson and Diana Ross. A lot of people don't know about that shit. That song is really about Diana Ross, not Princess Diana. All right. She was
Again,
supposed-
we're learning
She was
something new.
supposed to be Michael Jackson's date at an award show, and she ended up going solo. She won an award and gave a kiss, like damn near like close. They was like half lip, half cheek to another guy that presented the award, and the mean mug that he had on that camera. Not even 24 hours later, Dirty Diana came out.
I get it, but that was also around the time where he was like spending a lot of time with the Royals as well. So there's a discrepancy there.
Ooh,
There's a
not
discrepancy
the
there.
discrepancy.
Yeah. But just to answer your question,
I mean, I wouldn't blame her. Shit.
no offense to Cardi B, but I would definitely say that I would go for more. I lean more Princess Diana, just based on the
Team
fact
Diana.
that
mind you, Princess Diana stayed with Prince Harry after he cheated twice and got caught.
She's a princess. I would stay too. You live in a fucking castle.
She was already a princess before he became a prince.
Oh, fuck him. We're gonna.
She made
kill
him
him.
a prince.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta go, buddy.
You know what I mean? Like, you get caught twice cheating on the prince, like the princess, and she still stays
I'm
with
sending
your
the
ass?
guards.
I would just
Lorena
I
Bobbitt.
just solely purely base my answer just based on the fact that like everything is like now is just too modernized. That old school way of life, that old school way of living, those old school concepts are
They have
appealing.
meaning.
They're appealing. It's just like work through it. Let me know. Tap my name on it so I know it's real. You feel me? Type of shit. Motherfuckers don't do that no more. It's like,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I always said you tatting your significant other's name.
It's a bad omen.
That's bad omen.
Bad. Don't do
there.
it.
Like, I don't.
Don't do it.
Said, don't do it.
Yeah, I know tattoo
You know what I
artists.
mean?
I know tattoo artists that won't even do it. Like they will exclusively
Yep.
say, "Get out my shop. I'm not gonna
Yep,
fucking."
as they
tolerate
should.
shit."
That's a
Yeah.
bad omen.
It's a bad omen.
We'll never get a dude's name tattooed on me.
It is a bad omen for sure.
Only man's name that's going on me is my kid.
All right, what's your take on?
On what?
What
What's the
I said.
question?
What's your take
Oh,
on the relationship
Diana.
today? I mean, would, like, let's say for you, men wise, all right, would you want let me see. I need a good example of a husband that's been
Uncle Phil.
Who?
Rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
Who's that?
She said
Who
who?
the fuck?
She said who?
What the hell?
Uncle Phil or who?
Who are you?
I don't even know at this point. I have been lost for so long.
Oh,
Okay. Would you want
Do a 90 Day
What's-
Fiance guy. Like Colt or fucking Rob. I choose Rob.
okay, all right. You want a Rob or
Don't you dare say Usman.
no.
Usman.
You gotta watch 90 Day Fiance. It's my favorite show. I got him fucking watching that shit.
What the hell?
Yeah, I got you. We're gonna have a 90
No,
Day
no, no,
Fiance
no, no,
day
no,
when
no,
I do
no.
your hair.
Or damn, what was his fucking
Robert
name?
who?
What is his fucking name? Jesus Christ. I can't remember his fucking name. Jesus.
I would go for the better one. I don't know. Depends on how they
All right,
look.
fine. Let's put a 98 version. Rob or Colt? Pick one.
Oh, Colt like that was messing with Jen?
Oh,
Or
Lord.
yeah.
Colt, fat Colt?
No, the one that was messing with Jen.
Ooh, I don't know. I'd probably go with Rob because Rob's fine as fuck.
But Rob made out with
Rob is for the streets, and Colt, he's too nice.
So
I don't
you
know.
pick Rob, but he's for the streets.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I'm
though?
a tourist. I go for red flags. If you got a red flag, I'm running to you.
All right.
Rob,
so-
it is. Rob, hit me up because you fine as fuck.
Oh, awkward.
It's not awkward. Just DM me.
For me, I ain't gonna lie. I'll take a Princess Diana.
Of course.
There you go.
Everybody wants
You
the
feel
better
me?
version.
And I'm not gonna lie. I want her
I'm not
after she
saying
found
that
out I
Princess
cheated because
Diana is better
if you
than
see
Cardi.
who she was, like when she came out with Prince Harry, she was like very closed up, very.
Then she got cheated on. She said, fuck
Then
this.
she
I'm going
found out she
outside.
got cheated. She came out with straight half dresses showing everything, and it was like she came out more sexier. It was like, so I'd rather
Good
take
for her.
her coming out like that. You know what I'm
Than
saying?
Cardi.
Than Cardi.
But Cardi, we do love the new summer theme song, Outside. Yes, that's every girl's theme song right now.
Listen, I'm not saying that
Including
Cardi
mine.
is better than Princess Diana. All I'm saying is
Alright.
just they
It's the demeanor.
So, all right,
Something
so
like that.
all right, bet. So let me rephrase that then.
I just had like
Because-
crazy deja vu. I ain't gonna lie.
Cardi
Crazy
comes
deja vu.
out as the new modern BBL females. You know what I mean? So would you want shit
Listen, I've had
a Brittany Reiner, because that's all real, There's nothing fake about that. She all real from head to toe.
Listen, here's the deal. I've had girls with BBLs. I don't really care for it. My thing is like, yo, like if you are not secure enough in yourself to not have to enhance yourself in any type of way, then you probably ain't gonna be secure in a relationship either. You're not. I mean, like no means am I saying like, yo, don't do it. Like it's your money, do whatever the fuck you want. But make sure that you're doing it for the correct reasons, not to gain attention, but because it makes you feel good. You feel me?
Okay.
Yep.
Because some women do that shit to bring them a sense of admiration, and it's just like, dude, like you're seeking the wrong attention. You're seeking the wrong attention. You can't then be like, yo, why does nobody fucking love me if you ain't even love yourself?
Yeah,
to begin with.
That's true.
That is true. That is true. Yo, what's good, big homie? All right. My last question.
Better be a doozy. Better be a motherfucking doozy.
At what age you fell in love, and what was her name? You don't gotta say her name if you don't want to.
I ain't gonna say her name. Yo,
why? She don't want to get up on here and say something?
No. I mean, my thing is like, sometimes you just don't want to speak shit into existence. You feel me? So my thing is, I
again, like you said, close chapter.
Yeah,
you know
close
what I mean?
chapter.
You moved on. All right, cool.
So like, you know, like I first experienced a sense of love like when I was senior in high school.
Okay, I was about to say, if you say any lower than that, I was about to say that's puppy love.
Yeah, puppy love.
That puppy love don't count.
Senior in high school, you know, like I saw this person as, you know, like I was gonna like build a life with this person, and it wasn't all that it ended up being. And unfortunately, my first experience with love was also hand in hand with my first experience with heartbreak, like true heartbreak, where it's just like, yo, it was like everything that you thought you had and you were building, and then you had the rug pulled from up under your feet, and it's just like, yo, like it's just like, damn, it's like, you feel me? But it's not the struggles that you go through, it's how you struggle through them. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And my thing is like it made me, I didn't harden my heart to shit. It just made me more aware of how people can maneuver in certain shit, you know?
That is true.
You know, so you gotta protect your heart first.
Some people do manipulate real fucking good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They have that power to manipulate your ass and you won't even know it.
Facts.
Which goes with what I was saying earlier. Sometimes you give, not realizing that she's using.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And my thing is like some people, like a lot of women, like I feel like women are more emotionally driven creatures than men are. So it gets misconstrued when it's just like men aren't as willing to be that emotional because it's a sense of vulnerability. And because, let's be for real, men's trauma is not really acknowledged too much.
And it should be
on an everyday basis. You feel me?
But,
so it's like we hurt just like women hurt too. Mm-hmm. So the way that we respond to that hurt is we kind of, you know, close ourselves off. And, you know, we seem like we have this hard exterior, but I mean, let's be for real. Women have hard exteriors too. They just call it putting their walls up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at that same time, though, it's, again, an emotional standpoint to a logical standpoint. You know what I mean? Instead of putting your walls up and getting emotional, think of it as a logical standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you, but at the same time,
for men, though, at that same time, though, for men, you can think at a logical standpoint, but have a slight emotional standpoint too, because it doesn't hurt to be emotional sometimes.
Yeah, no,
Because
true.
men have that trouble being emotional.
I feel like the problem is people don't have the knee-jerk reaction to put themselves in the other person's position. And I feel like
Facts.
that's what really hinders growth and
Yep.
understanding. Is if you're only willing to see it from one side, then you can't say that you read the whole book. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
So-
Yes, clock
Alright.
that. I love that.
All right.
Next.
All right. Last question. I'm done.
Damn, I thought that was the last question.
Nah, that was part,
Yeah.
that's part one. That was part one of my
What
last
the
question.
fuck?
My bad. Joint account or single account?
Single. Don't ever do that. That's a fucking trap too, like marriage.
I mean, if
After
you-
that shit,
if
your
you're
shit
gonna
is
get
yours.
married, I'm asking if
You're
you're
gonna get married, you
you
still.
doing a joint account or you doing a single?
No,
account?
you keep your two separate accounts and then you do a joint account together. Me and my ex, we had two separate accounts and then we had a joint account. So whatever we decided to put in there together was like our money. And then we each had like the account that our paychecks went
until
into.
y'all have a whole argument and you want to clear out the whole fucking bank.
Well, there was nothing in there anyways.
Well, for some, I mean, that's for some niggas that be depending on their situation, whether the money
Yeah.
was going to bills or money was going to drugs.
You
or
just
something
have to
else.
trust your person
But
2,000,000% to have a
still,
bank account with them.
I know people, and I say that because I'm speaking in general, both women and men, and I'm gonna include my damn self in this motherfucker, where you had a goddamn joint account and then looked at the shit and the shit was empty.
Yep.
Okay.
I feel
But
like
at
I was
that,
taking my
then you
shit.
have, it's like at the end of the day, it's like some men, if you're born in the 80s, like grown in the 90s, like you know the concept of
That's
like,
what you're supposed to do.
you know what I'm saying, responsibility. You know the concept of like family. You know the concept of like taking care of the fucking bills. So this goes back to when I said earlier about give. When you give your whole fucking check to a woman, and that check goes to straight bills while she's sitting there working, collecting her fucking bill, her money, her check, saving up for her, but you can't even go get a cut.
But if both money is going in there, all the money should be going in there. And then you guys, it's your money together, no matter what the ending amount is. Say it's $5,000 and your monthly bills are $1,800. You got $5,000 in there because that's both of y'all putting your money in. That's everything. Your money is their money and their money is your money. As soon as you decide to get that joint bank account, you don't have your own money. It doesn't matter. Whatever's in that account is coming out for bills. Whatever's left over, you split. Like if you need to go get your nails done, you need to go get a tape. Like you do that.
I feel like it's healthy to have a joint account.
Fuck that shit.
Honestly, I feel like it's healthy because like it doesn't leave any room for error. Like you know exactly where the money's going, so you can
In that
address
aspect.
Like my thing is, if you have a single account and you don't ever have no money, then it's gonna cause problems.
What are
Like
you
yo, where the
spending it
fuck is
on?
your money going? And then next thing you know, you got people trying to go up to the bank, trying to pull fucking records and shit like that. And then, I feel like hiding shit like that has always been an issue in relationships.
But you
like
have
that.
to trust that person you're gonna
You
have
have
that
to
bank
trust that
account
person.
with. That you have to literally trust them with your money, your life, your livelihood, your house, your kids, like
You
your
have to.
food. Like you potentially could fucking have all your money that you just worked for taken away and your lights get turned off.
Exactly. But then that's where communication comes in. You feel me? You have to communicate, hey, I'm pulling out some money for this expense. Like why can't you have that open communication with your
Yeah,
partner?
you can.
but-
if you're gonna have that account, you
But
need to have that
at that
communication.
same time, there are certain men that when they speak, sometimes they go unheard.
True.
And it's like, you're all right. I said something. It's like talking to a fucking brick wall. You know what I'm saying? You got them type of men that don't take initiative because they're like, all right, I don't want to lose what the fuck they have. They get content with what they have. So for not to lose what they have, all right, I'll put up with the fact that I don't know if she heard what the fuck I just said just now, but okay.
Okay, so then
I'll let that shit slide. Fine.
that comes into saying this. Let me elaborate on what I said. Communication is everything, but proper communication is everything.
Yeah, but we talking about today's women, bro. Today's women, a lot of women, communication is like
Today's women
it's
ain't
either
all that-
one way or the fucking highway, which was always been that. But now, 2025.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, man. I don't want to throw women
You
under
got.
the bus like that.
I'm not trying to even throw women
I'm
under the
saying,
bus.
not all
I'm just
women
trying
are-
to say, even bum bitches is saying, nigga, come with the whole package or
I
nothing.
get it.
Like,
I get
hold
it.
up, you don't even got yourself together. You trying to
Yeah,
say
you gotta. What
I
did
feel
Fab
it.
say? You
So
gotta
with
bring
that-
something to the table. Some shit.
Fab said
That was the best shit I ever heard in my life. Don't
that
come.
man said don't sit at the table if you ain't got nothing to bring to it.
Bring
Yeah.
something to the table
So
if
my
you want to
thing is,
stay
like,
here.
I feel that. But then that makes you look like more of a dumbass for coupling up yourself with somebody who ain't got shit to bring to the table.
But that goes back to the same thing we just talked about. Yeah, you don't have nothing to bring to the table right now because you just down right now. But you build together, and then they bring
Absolutely.
the actual table. You get rid of the old one, and you got you a brand new table because you stuck by that person. That's
Okay.
different.
I
You
feel
can't
you.
just meet some bum off the street and be like, "Oh, I'm in love with you. Let's get a joint bank account," and then they steal your shit. No,
But this is the
you
thing I'm saying.
establish something with that person
This is
and
what I'm
build with
saying.
them.
You're not meant to sit at every table though.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You're not meant to
That's
sit at every
true.
table. You can't invite yourself to a seat if you wasn't invited to the dinner party.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
You better bring some spaghetti or something.
So my thing is, like, don't get comfortable
If you know you're not
in
going to bring anything.
situations that don't have any like benefit to you. You feel me? Like,
Facts.
don't put yourself in a situation where you're like, yo, I'm rocking with this person. And then in the back of your mind, you got 16, 17, 18 different things that you don't fuck with this person. Like, you're just setting yourself up for failure. And
Yeah.
then you become bitter and then be like, yo, fuck people, fuck women, fuck this, fuck these bitches and all, and fuck these niggas. It's like, no, fuck you for making bad decisions. You got poor decision-making skills.
Accountability is everything.
All right. Well,
That was fun.
I ain't gonna lie.
Hey,
This
Larry.
was a good motherfucking talk for John John to bring up
was.
this motherfucking
Yeah,
topic.
buddy.
You hear me? Because this shit was interesting. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Tune in next week for something way better.
Next
Yeah.
week.
We're going to let John pick again.
All right.
I might write some questions
Y'all tune
down.
in. Remember, y'all got any questions, anything, y'all tap in on the fucking comments.
And
Y'all
again,
hit
we
us up on our DMs.
we love our viewers, so we want to make
Yay.
y'all as much a part of this experience as we can. So if you guys want some shit that you want us to talk about, you want our
Let us
perception on
know. We're
it, let us know.
open.
DM, drop the shit in the chat. Let us know what you think our next topic should be, and we'll go from there.
Yes.
Until
Stay
next
tuned.
time,
Sip, smoke, and
Peace.
talk podcast is
Yay.
out of here.
yeah, love, peace, and chicken
Peace.
grease.
Peace
God
and
bless.
love. Peace and love.
Bye, y'all.
We-
Cigarette.
Sheesh.